We are at the Raw before No Way Out. No Way Out is headlined, as we found out last week, with HBK, X-Pac, and Triple H, Degeneration X versus Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, and Ken Shamrock. Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, kind of unlikely allies after a feud a couple months ago over respect. But Owen came out of that feud respecting Eddie. Ken Shamrock was a challenger to HBK, got screwed. And then also in the card, we have Brian Pillman taking on Ultimate Warrior. Kane versus Rikishi. What's it called? The Rock versus Stone Cold for Intercontinental Championship. Stone Cold's Intercontinental Champ. Road Warriors versus Jake the Snake Roberts and Psycho Sid. Mero Barton versus APA versus Billy Kidman and Bob Holly. Also in the card. I think I just went over it. Huh. Alright, well, let's kick it off with Stone Cold in the ring. And he says, you know what, Rock, you're a son of a bitch. You come out here, get in my ring, kick your ass. The Rock obliges, they end up brawling. And this is, pushing towards their match, No Way Out. And this is like, a tease, not a tease, but a way for me to gauge how the crowd reacted to these two feuding for future, because obviously these two are going to headbutts forever. 98 rating, so obviously it's money. From there, we get Psycho Sid defeating Road Warrior Hawk. Road Warrior Animal defeated Jake the Snake. So we got that. So the teams look even. I always do this. Basic. From there, we see Al Snow walk into his locker room, and his head is missing. Not his head, but head is missing. He looks out to find who it is. We don't know who did it, but we assume it was Val Venus, because over the past couple of weeks they've been having trouble. Here, Mike Barton, Bob Holly versus Farouk. Ends when Mike Barton picks up the little bit of an upset victory by defeating Bob Holly with pinfall. We then see Al Snow ask, when he comes across William Regal, if he took his head. And William Regal says, I didn't take your bloody fucking head, or whatever, just something British that he'd say. That sounded really racist. Like he'd use his accent that, the fans would like, boo. The video then transitions over to Val Venus, and he's just like throwing head up and down, being stupid and stuff. Then we see Ahmed Johnson saying he got a challenge from New Age Outlaws. He's looking for 2 tag partners, so he calls out Too Cool and says, I don't really get you two, and we aren't the best of friends, but you two are good in the ring, so how about you guys be my tag partners? They accept. Here, Bradshaw versus Billy Kidman versus Mark Mara ends when Bradshaw defeats. I won't have Billy Kidman lose, because, he's the whole feud between them. So we'll have Mark Mara lose. Because like Billy Kidman, if Bradshaw pinned Billy Kidman, that would be like the ending of that feud. It's not over yet. Then we see Al Snow searching for head. Comes across Vince McMahon, and he asks Vince if he took his head. Vince says no, and then just a crazy back and forth. Vince being super serious, teasing his heel run. And once again, we see Val Venus playing with it. There, we stay with Vince McMahon. He books Kane Rikishi for the main event for No Way Out. Then he books Triple H and Owen Hart, for the main event tonight. Brian Pillman versus Goldust ends when Goldust loses Brian Pillman via an air Pillman. I don't know what that move is. This is just a way to set up, make Brian Pillman look strong before No Way Out versus Ultimate Warrior. After the match, Pillman cuts a promo on Ultimate Warrior. Then the main event, a little bit of a disappointment, not gonna lie. Owen Hart versus Triple H ends when there's disqualification, when everyone ran in. We end Raw once again with a huge brawl with all 6 guys. Typical 82. Happy with it. I don't know what else to expect anymore. is what it is. You know, because I got to build the roster, got to make guys better in-ring workers. And Triple H, X-Pac are not cutting in the main event. So, we tied. Okay, they get to sell out. But we didn't. We'll get by best match, maybe? Match? You know what? We're just going to call it a tie. Public Enemy faced Desperate Measures probably 10 times the past 2 weeks. Yeah, just for sake of fairness, we're going to call it a tie. So it's 22-16. Excuse me, 22-17. WWF 22, WCW 17. We can call it a good old-fashioned tie. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe next week it could be 2 points to make it up. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make next week 2 points since this week was a tie. And we'll do that from so on to make it fair. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode's No Way Out. Thank you guys for watching. And I always think I have something else to say, but I don't. So